Here's the other side of the picture. HSBC, an international multi-billion-dollar bank, guilty of laundering money somewhere between $7 billion and $40 billion. They had laundered this money for both Mexican drug cartels and organizations who, according to our State Department, were linked to Al-Qaeda. There was no question that they had violated both bank reporting requirements and the U.S. Trading with the Enemy Act. Drug crimes and terrorism. These sound like people we'd be really tough with, right? How much jail time for HSBC executives? They did pay a $2 billion penalty, but as a proportion of their assets, this was basically the equivalent of a middle-class person paying a $35 fine.
I'm sorry, so sorry. Please accept my apology.
In 1996, the Purdue Pharma Corporation introduced OxyContin, a time-release opioid pain medication. Doctors were extremely cautious about prescribing opioids because of their addictive properties. At this point, the medical consensus was that opioids should only be prescribed to terminally ill patients who were in great pain. They wouldn't live long enough for addiction to become a problem. Purdue was determined to expand their market to a larger slice of the population. They began marketing it aggressively. The focus of this promotional campaign was how safe these new opioids were. Purdue targeted first doctors and then pain sufferers. They targeted them with the message that this new breed of opioids had been clinically proven to be at low risk of addiction.
I know that we'll be safe and sound. Safe and sound. Safe and sound. Safe and sound. We're safe and sound. Oh.
The rate of addiction amongst pain patients who are treated by doctors is much less than 1%.
Central to this effort, expert testimony from pain specialists who prescribed OxyContin to their patients.
These drugs, which I repeat are our best, strongest pain medications, should be used much more than they are for patients in pain.
These were real doctors, pain specialists, who presumably believed the information they'd been given that these drugs were safe. They also were paid a lot of money. Purdue said over and over again that there was less than a 1% chance of addiction. This doctor-led campaign was quite successful. Purdue and other opioid manufacturers greatly expanded their market. The idea that there was a less than 1% chance of abuse took hold.
Is much less than 1%. Less than 1%. Less than 1%. Less than 1%. Less than.
The problem? These statistics weren't really based on any research. They were fabricated by the marketing department. At this very same time, the company was well aware that it was fairly easy to get around the time release component.
Keep our business to yourself. You know I don't want you to tell nobody.
What began as drug companies promoting low-risk opioids turned into the biggest addiction problem that our country arguably has ever had.
They said it wasn't a gateway drug. My homie was taking subs and he ain't wake up the whole while. These billionaires, they caked up, paying up Congress, so we take their drugs. Murderers who will never face the judge.
We've seen what kind of sentences low-level individuals caught up in the war on drugs get. So what type of jail time did Purdue executives receive? Large monetary fines and 10 weeks community service. What type of jail time?
Anatole.
And life is grand.
I understand the rationale for strictness, and I get the argument for a more compassionate, lenient policy. But how can it be okay to have one kind of justice for the wealthy and another kind of criminal justice for the poor?
Mostly black, brown and poor. Most of them